I can definitely see the appeal of George and the Christmas Star, but I have to say the film didn't completely appeal to me personally. But it seems like it's one that a lot of people have very fond memories of from their childhoods. So I'm not going to like ruin it by, pulling it apart and saying it's not good for this reason, not good for that reason, because actually I think it's just my personal preference as to why I didn't completely love it. Mainly the animation style and also some of the pacing. But again, I can see why it would mean quite a lot to a lot of people because it's definitely quite different, quite unique. And actually the character of George I quite liked, and I was quite curious about his journey. This film was originally released in 1985, written and directed by Gerald Potterton, and it's about a character called George who wants to get a star for his Christmas tree, but he wants to get the star from the galaxy. So he creates this rocket ship and goes up into the galaxy and tries to retrieve it, and there are various characters we meet along the way. It's very metallic, and I think that's maybe why I don't love it, because there are a lot of like metal and machinery, and when I'm watching a Christmas film, that's not really the vibes that I'm personally going for. But again, that's a personal preference. I watch a lot of Christmas films and a lot of Christmas animations, so I've built up an interest in what I look for and what I like and what appeals to me personally. I'm also just not the biggest fan of that kind of film in general, even if you remove the Christmas aspect. So I'm aware that I'm not 100% the target audience. But while I don't love the animation style, for me personally, the style is consistent. The characters are quite interesting. As I said, the pacing's not 100% great, but I feel like the rate at which new things are introduced is good. So those aspects work quite well. Part of me feels like I'm trying to say I don't like it, but I'm not being horrible to anybody who likes it. I'm not trying to rip it apart, but I also don't feel like I need to hold back. I don't feel like I'm holding back any negativity just to not offend anybody who loves it, because it isn't a bad thing, a bad film. I think it's just me. I think it's what I look for in a film, and it's not there. We had some good music, some pretty decent music, and some quite good sound effects. And I thought the concept was really interesting. It's definitely different to anything I've seen before. It's very, very creative, and that's absolutely to the film's credit. It's well narrated. It's narrated by George Geertsen. That's my cat meowing. Clearly she agrees with me. It's well narrated. It's an interesting film. I didn't mind watching it once, but based on the hype that I'd read online about it, I was expecting something different. But I think maybe that's just me looking for more of the Christmas aspect to it. But then how much of Christmas are you going to get if you're up in the sky trying to get a star? You're not really going to get tinsel and Christmas carols up in the solar system, are you? So I can completely see why it went in a certain direction. It's worth watching once because it is fascinating, but it's not become a firm favorite or, a new beloved Christmas film for me. Didn't mind watching it once. I recommend George and the Christmas Star as at least a one-time watch, but personally, I doubt I'd watch it again.